What's up, everybody? I'm back in my garage. It's still summertime, so I'm still sweating. I apologize for the glistening sheen on my head, but I've got exciting news. I'm going to go ahead and I'm shifting gears. This video is not going to be about Saga the Forgotten Warrior, the next book, which is House of Assassins. This video, this one right here, is about Theft of Fire, which is currently in the running for Best Sci-Fi Novel in the Dragon Awards. So go and vote for it. And then like this video and subscribe. But then we're going to get into this stinking review. You got it? Before that, let's talk about what I'm currently reading. Bum, bum, bum. Tower of Silence, baby. Book 4 in the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior series. Also, downloaded Cyclones of Chaos, Book 7 in Land and Sea series. Let's go! Anyway, Theft of Fire, Orbital Space, #1, is written and published by ya boy, Devon Eriksen. So we got us a full-blown indie book here. And it was published November 2023. Who's ready for a little sinapi pie? I am. At the frozen edge of the solar system lies a hidden treasure which could spell their fortune or their destruction, but only if they survive each other first. Marcus Warnock has a little problem. His asteroid mining ship, his inheritance, his livelihood, and his home has been hijacked by a pint-sized corporate heiress with enough blackmail material to sink him for good, a secret mission she won't tell him about, and enough courage to get them both killed. She may have him dead to rights, but if he doesn't turn the tables on the spoiled Martian snob, he'll be dead. Period. He's not giving up without a fight. He has a plan. Miranda of Foxgrove has the opportunity of a lifetime almost within her grasp if she can reach it. Her stolen spacecraft came with a stubborn, resourceful captain who refuses to cooperate, but he's one of the few men alive who can snatch an unimaginable treasure from beneath the muzzles of countless railguns. And if this foul-mouthed belter thug doesn't want to cooperate, she'll find a way to force him. She's come too far to give up now. She has a plan. They're about to find out that a plan is a list of things that won't happen. Right off the bat, gotta say, this is the first indie novel that I've actually read all the way through. Now, I'm not a huge connoisseur of indie books. I've tried a couple and I didn't really like them that much. But to be fair, it's a huge ocean of mixed fish. There's a lot of crap. There's some good stuff out there and there's some gems. This is a gem. If all indie books were cut from the same cloth as this one, I'm not sure publishers would exist. Maybe they would. I'm not a business expert, so who knows? I'm just saying, wow. Let's talk about the genre. This book, it's definitely hard sci-fi, but it has like a really strong cyberpunk flavor to it. Like there's all these corpos. There's, people who have like their genes mixed together to make these perfect humans, basically. There's people with cybernetics. There's AI. It feels like cyberpunk in outer space. That's the best way I can put it. But that's what it feels like. As far as the hard part of the hard sci-fi goes, it's very detailed. I don't know if it's wrong or right. I'm gonna assume it's right. I'm gonna assume Devin is a much smarter man than I am, because there's a lot of stuff in it that I don't understand. Well, that I wouldn't know. But the way he writes it, it's very digestible, and it doesn't feel like way over your head because he actually explains the concepts at least enough to where it makes sense narratively. And he doesn't like overdo it. It's not like constantly like reading all this, nerd information, right? It's sprinkled in enough where it's definitely hard sci-fi, but it's not so much that it's boring. Because I've definitely, like in school, I've read some hard sci-fi books. I was like, oh my God, I hate this. It's not fun. The former mechanic and the former Navy loadmaster in me absolutely love this main character. It's so much about it that I freaking vibe with it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Next up, hurdles. Dude, this book might be defined by the amount of crap that goes wrong and the insane resourcefulness the characters display in order to try and find a way around it. Even if they get through it not completely whole, none of it really feels contrived. It all feels like, oh wow, that was a legit problem. Like I could see why that problem came, and the solution was genuinely clever and not contrived. Like it felt like the characters actually earn these solutions / consequences. And even the things that kind of like throw a wrench in their plans or in their ingenuity feels like, as far as how he has it set up, feels super logical or believable. Like it doesn't feel contrived. That's the best word I can use to describe how it doesn't feel. It does not feel contrived. But not all of the hurdles are to do with the, well, I'm not gonna call it the MacGuffin. It's not a MacGuffin, but the thing that they're trying to go get. Some of the hurdles are interpersonal, dude. There is some serious sexual tension in this book. I mean, talk about blue balls at 0G, dude. Oh my gosh. And I feel like he strings it along at such a perfect pace and doesn't give, like, I don't know, the sexual tension and the mix with like the confrontational aspects of these two characters' relationship, the distrust, the slow growing together over time. Dude, so good. I haven't wanted to ship two characters this bad since Pam and Jim, okay? That's how it is. Yeah, as far as like the hurdles and stuff go, really, really well done. Like I said, they feel natural. They feel super high stakes, like very, very high stakes. And they keep you coming back page after page, wanting to turn to another, wanting to go on to the next chapter and get to the end of this book. Like you're like, how are they going to get out of the situation? And then when they get out of that situation, they're like, okay, now you're like, what's going to go wrong now? Like, how are they going to get to whatever their final destination, whatever that may look like? How are they going to get there with all this crazy stuff going on in the solar system? I don't know. I'm not here to spoil it for you, but I'm here to tell you, strap in, dude. All right, next, let's talk about the action. Oh my God, dude. The action is not just like, there's so many different places for the action to come from. It kind of mixed in here. I'm gonna clump something else, but also a sense of danger. I'm also gonna clump in with the action in this little spot here. You have crazy chase scenes between like multiple spaceships with fusion drives that can travel like, I don't even know. I don't know how fast it is. It's fast. Like get across the freaking solar system in a couple weeks. Fast, real fast. They have alien technology friggin' engines that shoot them across I keep wanting to say galaxy, the solar system. They have, dude, then the ships have weapons that they're shooting at each other. They're trying to dodge some of the weapons. Just, I don't even want to give too much away. Between the ship's weapons, the ship's chase scenes, the fight scenes with guns, rescue scenes, dude, the action is so good. And like I said, like I mentioned before with the hurdles, the repercussions of the actions just keep leading into more and more spiciness until you get to the crescendo. And my gosh, dude, the ending was such a gut punch. Oh my gosh. And you have this like, there's this overhanging sense of dread about being in space because the whole story takes place inside his ship, right? And they're just flying through space. So the whole time there's this like, he even kind of mentions it's almost like another character. I can't remember what he calls it, but you know, he has like, you know, nicknames for space. He wants to kill you, right? The never-ending blackness. That's not what he calls it, but you know what I'm saying. It's almost it's like this ever-present sense of fear because he knows what it can do. He's seen what it can do. He actually lost his eyeball, and he's got this sweet cybernetic eye, which is dope, from vacuum exposure, being out in space. Let's talk about characters. You got Marcus, you got Miranda, and you got Leela. Now, there's other characters, obviously, in the book, but those are our main three. All three of them are in Marcus's ship, so they are pretty much the ones we deal with the vast majority of the time in the story, and the POV is from Marcus's point of view, and it's present tense. It's first person, present tense, so you were very close to this character. And it can't be said enough of how cool Marcus is in his resourcefulness, his freaking grit, his unwillingness to quit. He just keeps going. He finds a way. He has crazy ingenuity. Takes whatever he can find, whatever he has at his disposal, and he finds a way to make it work. And his relationship with the girl who is Miranda. She's kind of a, as you saw in the blurb, rich, spoiled little brat, but she's also like super, super smart. And I'm not gonna give too much away, but they both really go on a great like character arc. Not that like that always needs to happen in a story, but this is a really good one, and it feels very earned. As I said before, it's not contrived. You feel like these characters are like genuinely fleshed out, real people, and they really have this baggage, and they really build this relationship. So good. I love it. And even in Leela, who is the AI, what a cool character. Not being human, but still very human-like, and everything she comes in, like all the way he describes her when she's like in the ship, because she projects like an image of herself inside their heads, because they have like cybernetics. I already forgot what it's called, but basically they're able to like get emails and stuff, and they can see it in their minds. Pretty cool. But anyway, so she's able to like use that to allow them to see like an avatar of her, basically a hologram, and just like all the different ways he like describes her. She like changes her outfits here and there, or like just so cool the way she describes how she feels when she, I don't know if this is a spoiler, I don't want to say too much, but she really goes through this process of kind of acceptance, and then caution and worry, and maybe a little clinginess, to very like becoming confident and basically a hero. I'm gonna leave it there, but great character arc. All three of these characters are incredible. Even the foil characters that are just, coming and going, are cool. I mean, all the background characters are pretty sweet. It just helps to build and flavor this world that is, it's not quite as dystopian. At least I don't get that vibe that it's as dystopian as like a full-on cyberpunk. It's definitely not great, but neither is our current world. Like the corpos are obviously greedy D-bags, and there's a lot of people who are struggling, but you know how that be. All right, lore. This has got some sweet lore. So it's our solar system, but it's the future, obviously. In this future, I don't remember it's like somewhere over by Neptune, I believe. There was basically this little tiny, is it Sedna? Yeah, it's at Sedna, which I think isn't a moon or a planet. It's really tiny, big rock. They found some tombs on Sedna and weren't built by people. So the corpos went to the tombs and they found technology, and there was this huge war over the artifacts, and then there was a treaty signed, and basically the corporations got a monopoly on this alien tech, but in so doing they developed fusion drives, which allowed spaceships to travel way faster across the solar system, which increased trade, allowed all these people to move more things without having to expend so much resources on fuel. But at the same time, now they have this monopoly on these fusion drives, so people are kind of very dependent on the corporations. So it's they kind of talk about it a little bit more, like, oh, that's really shitty, but oh, maybe it's a necessary evil kind of thing. And I really like how he kind of explores that theme in the book. It's so good. Yeah, and even just the mystery, like kind of surrounding the aliens and their artifact, or the tomb builders, or how the aliens are referred to. Like very cool mystery, and then the fact that the technology is like almost like very few people even understand how to work on it. Even the stuff that we've adapted into human terms, there's very few people that can even understand it and work on it. So like the aliens are just so far advanced and alien that they're very bizarre and have a very strong mystique in the story. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Go read this book. Go buy this book. It is up for a Dragon Award, as I said. Go to awards.dragoncon.org, click on register to vote, and go vote for this for the best science fiction novel of 2024. To be fair, full disclosure, I have not read the other ones, but this book is so good. Like, I know I say that about all the books I read, but as I said, I only review books that I like. And I don't read a lot of hard sci-fi. I do like sci-fi, and I like, what is that? Science fantasy, like Warhammer. I would say that. Like, it's science fiction, but it's very fantasy-like, magic and whatnot, and nothing super, at least the ones I've read, aren't like super detailed or accurate to actual science. But hard sci-fi, no, I've read a couple, and I was like, ooh, not really. This is interesting because it's outer space, but also boring. But this is just like, and what makes this so good, in my opinion, is the characters. Like, I mean, the lore too, but far and away the characters, like, not even like the plot and what they're going after, but just who they are and what they're dealing with makes this book so good. And I'm going to be voting for it, and I think you should go vote for it too. So go do it. On top of that, they do have a Kickstarter for an audiobook version of Theft of Fire. I'll put the link down in the description. Go there. If you've read the book, I suggest you go support them so we can get an audiobook for this. I actually think this would be an amazing book to be adapted to an audiobook. There's a lot of books I like to read, but there's some that I just like to listen to, and I would honestly probably buy this one. Even though I've already read it, I'm probably going to buy the audiobook when it comes out, because I like listening to audiobooks when I'm around the house doing chores and stuff like that. And even if I have to listen to them over and over again, it's just nice to have it in the background. Go check out that link, support their Kickstarter. But that's all I got. Please like, share it, subscribe, and let me know what you thought down in the comments. I will see you guys later, or I will see you one another time.